After 2 long negative videos, let's end this one on something that's not that. It's Eco Fighters, a game that I can never get the name right. Until doing this script I keep calling it either Eco Warriors or Eco Fighter, singular. This is played on Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2 like every other Capcom game in a bonus video. Before doing it for this video, I played it once before back in 2010 but didn't remember too much. In our future, during the age of space development, many enterprises have begun mining the surfaces of planets in a huge gold rush to become the richest space corporation. The largest of these, Goyok KK, has completely ruined many planets irreversibly. One in progress is the planet Elwood. We are recruited by Dr. Morley to protect the planet from Goyok in a ship he built for us. Stage 1 takes place in an area suffering deforestation. So this is a shmup and its big thing is a full rotation of the cannon. It can be aimed a full 360 degrees around me using one of the buttons. In terms of enemies, there's the usual machinery you would expect in deforestation, but also enemy ships. Downed enemies drop crystals that when grabbed increase the power of the ship, as can be seen with the counter at the bottom. I enter this cave and get stopped by a huge ship that mostly tries ramming me. After slowly taking it apart, it drops a big crystal worth 10 for me. After getting the full 20, my arm levels up. Here I get one of the extensions on my arm, the hammer, which when swinging allows you to hit enemies with it. Around this time I've also left the cave to see the full effects of the deforestation. Dying make you lose your crystals, but they will stay on screen and give you a chance to pick them up again. Around this time I meet the first boss. I also pick up the laser sword for my cannon. It's just this endless beam of damage that hangs out in front of me. The collection interrupts me because I accomplished one of its bonus objectives. For whatever reason my memory card can't stand this game and it'll delete save data every time I load it up, so it doesn't matter. Right after I blow away the top segment, followed by its chainsaw. All that's left here is the spread shot. Not going to point out all my deaths, it's an arcade game with infinite continues. It can now only be damaged when the crystal powering it exposes itself. Also, maxed out laser sword is huge, doesn't last long before I take it out. Stage 2 has us at an ocean, where one of Goyok's ships is dumping toxic waste. Most of the enemies here are mechanical sea life. I guess Goyok just really wants to mock the animals they're destroying by putting polluting replicas of themselves there. It's not long before the blue sea becomes lifeless and brown and I get attacked by a shark sub that tries ramming me, then firing waves of fireballs as I dismantle it. This is followed by these inflating bombs and as I leave the scene to the sky, many planes. After those I catch up to the ship that's causing all this. I start by taking out its many turrets. I also get a new arm here, the scatter bomb. It has a little shield around the end of it and fires a big spread shot. Probably my least favourite of the lot. I like that quick up close damage the laser sword gives me most. At this point there's so much on screen the game just slows to a crawl. Thing is, there's so much stuff blocking me from destroying the turrets that will allow me to progress. Once it's finally done, we next get 2 huge wrecking balls on tiny ropes. What is the purpose of those? What are we going to do out in the ocean? Do you really just hate nature so much you need to swat the birds out of the sky too? After they're taken out, it's just some more lasers that also don't last long. This exposes the crystal at the back of the ship, you just have to avoid the enemies and take it out. Stage 3 is in the air, we're dealing with acid rain. Goyok has a sky plant above the clouds causing it. First off, he's nothing special, just planes we've had in the last 2 levels. But then we get this thing firing 2 homing missiles at once. Then another one and multiple guys in mechs. Followed by a giant flying turtle that needs to be blown apart piece by piece. We're now heading below the clouds where we can see the effects of the acid rain. The lower half of that turtle thing landed down here and kept going, and even after blowing it up some more, one final piece refuses to be done. As I'm going back into the clouds, you may notice my hammer flashing. You can charge your shots, but since I'm always doing continuous fire, that doesn't happen much. A load of ships morph into one and kill me, but the new life mercy wipes it out. I reach the boss and this time we can see the power source right away. He has homing missiles, opens up to shoot at me some more, and has many ships show up to distract me. This one's one of the less interesting bosses to be honest. There's none of that segment destruction to show the progress of the fight that the others before had. It just stays the same until it explodes at once. Stage 4 has us in a formerly grassy plain, reduced to a desert thanks to air pollution caused by one of Goyok's locomotives. It speeds by underneath me right away and I can get a few shots on some of its segments. I'm not sure if that damage keeps for later. He stops to refuel and I get to start blowing up carriages. There's some smaller enemies here too, nothing threatening. Take out all the carriages and reach the train itself. It has its own cannons but I dismantle it pretty quickly. That wasn't the main target though and I go further into the air. We meet the boss already. This helicopter powered by another crystal. It has a laser that fires straight along with a spread shot. The part store in the crystal also has a cannon, but it doesn't fire often and it gets destroyed anyway, exposing the crystal to me. I then just shoot it until it dies. Quick level. Stage 5 is in Goyok's underground base, where that train was transferring its resources from. You'd think by now they'd realise the little tanks don't work on me. A little bit in we get a digger that sticks its drill in the ground and makes rocks fly around everywhere. It's also got a big laser. I just lead with that to be honest. After I blow up its treads I blow a hole in this wall to fly through. Now we're actually inside the base. Got more mechs and some blimps with smiley faces, plus flying snails hiding cannons. I blow up another door and it's mostly cave again. This level is already much longer than stage 4. Get that laser sword on the wall of those snail things, nice. Boss is a big aircraft carrier. It's always the little bullets that hit me, not the huge lasers. Just got to take out the cannons and avoid being killed by snails as I'm blowing the ship apart chunk by chunk. When I run out of stuff on screen, it even kinda gives a view of its vulnerable belly to destroy. It has a drill at the front that doesn't even last 2 seconds on screen. It keeps moving to allow me to travel along the top and make a complete lap of destruction around it. This one mech with the crystal still survives though. It has a big spread and swings an arm around. This one gets quite a few kills on me before I bring it down. Stage 6 has received a message from Colonel Goyolk. He says he'll withdraw from the planet if we defeat him. So here we are out in space, and there's a big space fortress I'm entering. So, Goyolk, what's the purpose of the multiple self-Zordons you have around here? We've seen a lot of the same enemies from previous levels, but now there's also these big rolling planes. Don't even have to blow this door open, it just knows to let me in. We get these shapes with a shield on one side before a huge junkyard of destroyed machinery. This spark thing flies in and attracts a lot of that wreckage around itself, creating a wreckage tornado. I'd have to destroy most of it and I can take the spark out. This is followed by a pallet swap of the big plane from stage 1. A little later and we're either entering the core or the sun is outside and we're just passing by. I then leave out the other side to meet the boss. It's a huge mech styled after Goyolk. It has nipple missiles and spits fire and lasers from its mouth. First I blow up the head for it to reveal its weird Terminator dinosaur skull, and after a few shots its cranium goes. The crystal is stored inside the head so a few more shots takes it out. Goyolk says he underestimated us and flees. Final stage now. Many of Goyolk's old abandoned ships and stations are still just left in space. Dr. Morley reasons he must be hiding somewhere around here. Goyolk, idiot that he is, transmits that yes, he is here, instead of just waiting it out. You may notice at this point that my laser sword is looking a little small and it's been a low level for a bit now. I'm getting killed more often here so I can't keep it up as well. Most enemies here are pallet swaps of earlier ones, so I don't have that much to say about earlier parts of the level. I suppose I should point out that there are actual characters piloting this ship. Player 1 is Dr. Morley's nephew, Ice, and Player 2 in a pink ship is Morley's niece, Nene. After a bit we get a boss. It's a big orb. It fires a big circular spread and also creates big bubbles. A huge laser too. It doesn't last long though and I blow it up. The level continues. Even more returning enemies, then some huge enemy spam before a second boss arrives. It's Goyolk's laser-fitted space limo. Thought that last boss was quick? I take out each segment incredibly quickly and it dies quicker than the last one. Goyolk's escape pod emerges and lands into this mech, the true final boss. It emanates lightning everywhere, flies up and down rocking its legs, and has flamethrower hands. Its head will also open up to fire homing missiles, along with bigger missiles from its chest. Can't forget about the nose laser, gotta have that too. The only attack that gets me every time is this spread of fire rings, I just can't deal with it. The only place it can be damaged is the head, so I just have to keep firing. It does take quite a while and I die a lot, but after a few minutes I get that final shot in and take Goyolk out. He seems to be alive, but pretty messed up. Morley congratulates us, but says we still have to regain the environment at any cost. The ending simply has us land on this planet, see a single plant growing and decide job well done. Ice and Nene then actually appear on screen to thank me for playing, we then get the credits. Eco Fighters is a pretty fun game. I wouldn't say it's amazing though. The arm is interesting and it's fun to spin it around, but having 2 dedicated buttons for clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation, plus its speed does make it feel a little unwieldy and can lead to feeling overwhelmed by enemies. But it's not a huge flaw, I still enjoyed the 35 minutes I had with it. Much better shmup than Transbot anyway.